Hello, I am back again. I am Mike. Welcome back to the channel. Foam Gremlin 67, I think. I don't know. Don't ask me why I went with that name or that number. Anyway, it is, what day is it? December 23rd, 2025. What do I have in store for us today? I went to Goodwill again, against my better judgment, because it's 2 days before Christmas, even though my family and I celebrated yesterday, because my sister and her boyfriend were over here. They left this morning, actually. So, Goodwill. At my local Goodwill, I managed to get, today, 2 blasters. Actually, no, let me show you. First, we have a Nerf, I believe it's a 2005 or 2010. I know the name of it. I want to make sure I get the right thing. Okay, so it is a Nerf N-Strike Firefly Rev 8. Very pretty. It is perfect for my 21-year-old body. Yeah, so the Firefly, this one at least, didn't come with the dart. That's for purposes of demonstration later. Very, I wouldn't say sleek, but it is a very beautiful, beautiful blaster. There is some issues with paint that I may need to touch up. Quick overview. Oh yeah, right. This has power. Can I get to the switch? It comes with batteries already installed, unlike the actual when it was new. So this I got for, well, it's marked as $5. That's United States dollars for those who don't speak really butchered Australian. Second, and this one I'm very excited about. The Evolve 100. It has a capacity of 100 hyper rounds. Hyper being in the past fewish years, it was not Rival's replacement, but it is its cousin. They're literally just rival rounds, but smaller and more rubbery and squishy. They're like, just, the video doesn't do it justice. This is so odd. Anyway, same thing with this. I don't think I've really shouldered this before. This is probably not the most comfortable in terms of ergonomics. I'm not sure. It does have a safety. Mikey likes safeties, because it makes me feel like I'm actually handling a firearm and not a toy for children. Interesting enough, this one came with both jam doors open, so I wonder if the owner thought it was broken. Yeah, with every blaster that I get thrifted, I may open it up, I may take a look on the inside. Unlike last video, I did check if everything was working ahead of time. But if it wasn't, and it did pay the price that it's labeled on the tag, that would be my fault. You should be a responsible thrifter. Check if things work. There's all sorts of guides and such. I think even Captain Xavier has a guide on thrifting and stuff you should and shouldn't do. Number one thing being careful about electric blasters. Anyway, yes. Oh, also a very cool thing, there's like a little button like here, and you could just, the hopper opens for you. And you can drop down your rounds, which, by the way, I don't have any hyper rounds, so it's actually hilarious that 100% of the rounds that I have for this blaster came with it. Which there's only 3. Well, it's more like 2.5 because slightly larger one. I don't know if this is a 50 caliber ball that people use. So the regular hyper rounds, I'm just gonna quickly do this. No squish are about 13 millimeters in diameter. This slightly bigger one with bigger dimples though, 14 millimeters. Anyway, that does it for this. I don't know if I said I got 2 blasters or 3 things, but I did get a 3rd thing. And actually, I got it for free. This is a Nerf Zombie Strike SledgeFire shell. Just the shell, nothing else. But I do have the original blaster with its 3 original shells. This is an extra 4th. It only comes with 3 shells, 3 in the stock and none in the chamber, unless you switch from 2 in the stock and 1 in the chamber. So now I have enough shells to just store this with a shell already in it. Reason why I like that is because it was just always weird always having just one little compartment in the stock just empty. So I got that for free because it was unmarked. Twice now, I got amazing people at my Goodwill. And I'm not going to say where it is. I'm not going to say where I live or anything like that. But my local Goodwill, beautiful people. I love them. And I barely know them, and they're probably just like any other retail worker. But I love them because twice now, 2 out of 2 times. Well, I mean, after they moved from a smaller location to a former Aldi. I guess hint as to where I'm at. They upgraded their space, which I'm surprised they were doing that well. That just means more Nerf for me. Still don't have a dedicated Nerf section, unlike Captain Xavier's local Goodwill. Very jealous about that, by the way. But they're doing well enough that I just kind of walked in like a month later and got really good stuff. So even better news. Firstly, I'm gonna nerd out about Goodwill stuff for a quick second here. You can skip ahead. Anyway, the Evolve 100 ended up to be $10 with a black tag. The color doesn't really mean much. It doesn't mean it's broken or anything. Thankfully not, because otherwise I would have 2 bad tags, because this Firefly Rev 8 was $5 marked with a red tag. If you don't know, the color, I did ask the cashier for this. Maybe this helped with, rapport or something, because I was interested in their system. Goodwill has a system where the color tags represent like different cycles. Sometimes it means, or according to Siri, or Safari, while I was in the Goodwill itself, it could mean really 2 different things. One is just what week of rotation that item was put on the floor, or 2, it's just how long it's been there. Some colors meaning longer, some meaning shorter. In my Goodwill's case, by the looks of it, it is actually the first one, which is great. Because, or at least to my knowledge, because of that system they have in place, what they do is they have a color tag of the week, and you get 50% off whatever the price is if it matches that color. Sadly, this week was blue, and it switches every Friday, if I remember correctly. Today's color was blue. And as you saw, neither of those were blue. It was a red and it was a black, and I got a freebie shell. Thanks to the cashier. I'm sorry I didn't ask for your name. I am so sorry. I should ask for cashier names because, you know, everybody's a human being. But thanks to her, I will call her Mrs. Claus because she gave me this SledgeFire shell for free. It was just lying on the shelf and I saw it and I picked it up. I put it in my pocket. When I went to check out, I was like, I'll just have these two. Oh, also, this was on the shelf unmarked. I didn't say anything other than it was unmarked and it was on the shelf. And she said, you could just have that. So thank you so much. A beautiful thing happened today. Today's Tuesday and I'm a college student. And apparently they do discounts for college students on Tuesdays. So if you're an EMT, college student, or a veteran, you get a discount. Or at least I think for college students, it's just specifically on Tuesday. So I'll be going pretty much every Tuesday now. So it is marked as a red tag. Price, even though it was marked as $5, price was $4.50. Total of reds was $4.50. Then for blacks, for black wares, so that was a compare at $5, or for reds, it was compare at $5 price. Discount 10%. I got a 10% discount, which means I got 50 cents off. 50 cents does that sound like much? Pop 2 of those in a pinball machine, you get a game. It says compare at $10, 10% discount, meaning price and total were $9. $1 doesn't sound like much, but to me, it's 2 more pinball games. I saved a total of 3 pinball games, which is $1.50 or 3 times 50 cents USD. Even though I got taxed that dollar back of 0.95 cents or 0.95 cents, that doesn't make sense. I got taxed 95 cents for sales tax, whatever. So the total was $14.45. No returns, no exchanges. I'm going to do the thing again. There we go. Okay, well, I went over the weird size difference in the balls that I got. I got a total of 3 hyper rounds, probably 2 hyper rounds, and a 50 cal ball. I will find out which one is which. I want to say the 50 cal ball is the 14 millimeter ball, if I remember that right. I already forget what measurements I showed, but whatever. No need to show them fire. I already fired them, but yeah, whatever. Well, actually no. I'll just do a very, very quick overview. We're not doing another 20-minute review, even though this has been 20 minutes. Anyway, that is absolutely, positively everything I could possibly tell you about these 3 blasters. Oh boy, either this is going to be a very long video, or I'm going to cut out a lot more footage, probably the trivia stuff. I like talking a little too much. Anyway, apologies to Editor Mike. If everybody could support Editor Mike in the comments, like, share, subscribe, you know, the regular stuff. Okay, autistic ramblings aside, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video, and I'm going to boop you now, and then we're going to have the same edit credit scene. Boop. Oh, that sounded expensive. All right. How are you doing? You're shaking a little bit. You're a phone that is supported on a super cheap extendo mount, so don't feel bad. I am going to just be upfront and blunt and say I guess I am a Coop 772 clone plus a mix of Captain Xavier, since I've been watching both of their videos very often recently, despite Coop having been retired for 2 years now. I'm home alone, and so hopefully I will be more charismatic and less of a awkward autistic boy. What did I get? Well, first, the receipt, as always. And by always, I mean for the second video. It is, well, actually almost 22 in 8 days, fun fact. I am a New Year's Eve baby. I don't even know why I mentioned that. I'm not sure if I'm going to start a Nerf club at my university. This is a Nerf hyper, not a Nerf rival hyper. I don't know why I keep thinking it's Nerf rival hyper. Probably not the most comfortable in terms of ergonomics. I'm not sure. It does have a safety. Mikey likes safeties because it makes me feel like I'm actually handling a firearm and not a toy for children. There's hair and stuff in the gears. I'm gonna have to open this up and clean it. Like, I'm thinking of doing that with every Thrift blaster I have. I don't know why I'm caressing this way. Very pretty. I don't know why I'm hugging this. I'm hugging this more than holding it. And enough for modded stuff. Here's a manual caliper, which I did get a digital one for Christmas. It is actually in here, but I'm too lazy to get it out. So a millimeter difference, which doesn't sound like much, but a millimeter is pretty big difference, okay? You should be grateful for every millimeter you get. Editor Mike, if you could be so kind as to like add chapters this time, because I know last video was like 10 minutes long, but that was after 20 minutes of excess footage being cut. It'd be great if you added chapters for the viewers, if they ever come to find these videos, because, you know, past Mike told you so. I gave more time for freeze frame this time, so hopefully that wasn't as ugly.